we could actually eradicate from these women's mind through continuous, like we should keep clamoring on it, because some of them are already changing and advocating against it. So I think there are some women that will still be tilting towards it, but if you could still continue, it would actually be eradicated from their mind.
Quickly, let's go through some of the myths surrounding female genital mutilation.
Okay, like we have the myth that it preserves virginity, which is very wrong, because looking at the fact that from virginity, they also said that if you are giving birth and the head of the child touches the clitoris, that the child will die, which is actually because there is no how you give birth to a child and the child will not pass through that area. So definitely the child cannot die. It's just a myth, it's just a belief. And most times women that this FGM is being performed on, they actually have labor pains more than even their other women that were not actually caught. So you can imagine the pain some of them go through. Some of them have to go through another operation on that same place, because some of them have been sewn. Like we have 4 types, and there is a type, the 3rd type is actually you sewing it. Like they only have space for them to pee and for them to have their menstrual cycle. So you can imagine someone like that having a child pass through that place. It's going to be a very painful thing, and this is a myth that people still believe that okay, if they don't cut, and there are some people that when they are in their own tradition, when they are giving birth, that is the time they are cutting it. So you can imagine the pain such a woman will go through. Some people even get traumatized and die through that process. It could even lead to depression for some of them. And also there is also the belief that there's a myth that a girl that is not called to be promiscuous, which is a very big lie. It's the way you train your child. Whoever you train well, even a child that you train sometimes could actually still go out and do something. And some of these girls that are actually being caught are actually the promiscuous ones, because they feel like, okay, they are not having the feelings other people are having. Why am I not having these feelings? They'll feel that this guy is not okay, let me go to someone else. They'll keep jumping around thinking that they're not normal, but it's because of what has been done to them, so they can't actually feel what other people are talking about. So that's another myth that needs to be debunked. Like we need to eradicate that too.
Okay, so quickly let's look at the essence for International Day of Zero Tolerance for Female Genital Mutilation in Nigeria. Have we had enough support from the government? It's a policy. I know there's a law in place, but how well are we doing?
Okay, like I would say we have the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act, which was passed in 2015. And the act actually says that whoever is caught perpetrating this act of FGM would be sentenced to 4 years in prison and told to pay 500,000 naira fine or do the 2. But the thing is that we've not actually brought out someone. We need to catch someone in the act that, okay, this person was persecuted, because I think that's when people start to take this thing seriously. Because when they pass the law, when they pass the act, most times it's just like they just passed it. But when they start to actually enforce it on people, that is when you will know that, okay, this thing is actually working. Because I feel the government should actually make educate even the government officials, because I think there's other government officials that also even practicing FGM. If they would actually educate everyone and tell everyone that, okay, this thing is actually wrong, and whoever is caught in this thing, I think, because most people don't know about this. Imagine people in the rural areas still practicing it. They don't know about the VAP Act law, but all they know is that they're still practicing it. But if those type of people, we could take one of them and say, this thing is actually wrong, you'll be sentenced to 4 years in prison. Such a person will be like, okay, I don't want to spend 4 years in prison. But when we start to enforce this law is when it would actually work out in this country.
Okay, let's look at those who take this as a profession. Do we still have them around? Those whose it's a family business for some persons. Do we still have them around? Have we been able to convert them to end FGM?
Yes, some of them have been converted, but the thing is, what we've told them is that instead of them continuing in female genital mutilation, instead, male are supposed to be circumcised. So they should concentrate on the male and leave the female alone. That doesn't mean that they won't eat. That doesn't mean that we are taking their means of livelihood away from them. So that's what they should just concentrate on. Concentrate on circumcising the men and the boys and leave the women alone, because that would actually still preserve their culture, since that's what they want to preserve.
Okay, I've been talking with Sosa Tinuke Welekwe from Onelife Initiative, and we're looking at the day set aside to end or a day of zero tolerance for female genital mutilation, which is the 6th of February, but today is the 8th of February. And then we've decided to bring this to our dear listener. If you have any question for us, or you want to make your own contribution, or you decide to listen to this program and spread the gospel out there, there's a need for us to stop or to end FGM, female genital mutilation, is punishable under the VAP Act 2015, which has also been adopted in Oyo State itself. If you're culpable, you're going to pay a fine. You'd either pay a fine or you go to jail, or both. Would be sentenced on you. So these are issues before us quickly this morning. Now let's look at I've read diverse articles, and it's also made me to understand that some persons don't even just some women are not open up at the tender age. They are open up even as adults. Some even turn themselves over to be caught. How can one appeal to such to psyche of such persons who feel that as an adult it's a time for me to put myself down to be caught?
Yes, the thing is, I actually watched a video of a lady too online, and the lady was like, grandmother kept telling her that this thing, that why have they not been caught? So she thought the thing was actually right for her. She actually went to meet the grandmother later and told the grandmother that, grandmother, take me to where I will be caught, because she felt that was the right thing. And she was 15 years. She volunteered to be caught. Then she went to the place, and getting there, she saw girls fainting, shouting. Then the next thing, she saw blood everywhere. She ran out of that place. So I think the thing is that these women don't actually know the repercussion of what they are doing. It's because they've been, I call it a kind of, because of the way they were raised. So because of the morals instilled in them, they feel that's actually the right thing, and they feel it's traditionally right and culturally right. So the only way we could actually talk to these women is what we are doing right now, reaching out to so many of them. So many of them would actually tune in and be listening, and some of them will actually take back the lesson that this thing is not right. It's not going to do you any benefit. Instead, it's going to do you more harm than good. So,
okay, there's a call by the UN to end female genital mutilation by 2030. When we come back from this, listening to this particular skit, Mommy, why did you cut me? Survivors share their pain. We'll get to hear SOSA's view on if Nigeria will be able to achieve this goal. Especially, let's look at our part of the country, and not maybe look at Nigeria as a whole. But let's get to listen to Mommy, why did you cut me? Survivors share their own pain. We'll be right back. Please don't go anywhere.
Very early in the morning, my mom just came to my door knocking. She said, Stella, come outside, come and see something. I said, Mommy, what is it now? She said, come. They called me inside the bathroom. I saw so many people inside the bathroom. I was very surprised.
I got asked and said, Mommy, just a friend, why them come here for night? He can't tell me, since when they tell me, say, he was to concern me that day, Martin said a joke. I saw my bed, which she has prepared with red bed sheets, everything red. The woman who circumcised me also wear white, the white hand glove on his hand. They say I should sleep and pull off my clothes.
He said, if you refuse to lie down, we will force you to lie down.
So my dad bring some rope and tied me. So that my mother hold me for, my mother hold me for leg.
It's one fat, mighty woman that will sit on your chest.
Then they close me up for mouth so that people no go hear say they want to circumcise.
So the nurse will now bring one small kitchen knife, one short one like this. So that is what she will use to cut up the crippling.
Collected a razor blade from my sister and circumcised me. Now sister then used called me and the thing been pain me. So I go down until I fight with them so they come cut me.
As I was fighting, nearly the half of the bathroom side fell down. Since I was struggling with the woman, they now cut my clitoris away. As they cut it, I bleeded.
When they was circumcising me, when I was going through the pains, my mother was there looking at me and I was looking at her. I asked my mama, say, Mommy, now you tell me you cut me. He said, now they are culture. I said, Mama cut her.
What just came inside my mind, I said, may God forgive my parents because they don't know what they are doing.
My mother tell me, say when they circumcise you, you don't change to woman.
How can they remove this part from my body? They say it's tradition. Which type of tradition?
That night, all of them didn't sleep because I was crying the whole of that night.
When they come to the clinic, they are so frustrated, they are so upset that this has happened to them, in the sense that this was done by their family.
Welcome back from that break. Your dial is still on 92.5 FM. That's the testimonies from survivors there. I don't know how to call that one, a positive one or a negative one, but the deed has actually been done. So most of those who shared their testimonies there. Quickly, Asosa, before we let you go on the program this morning, UN is to end this by 2030. Do you think Nigeria is near the goal?
Yes, what our organization has been working on too. We've been doing campaigns, market campaigns, and we've actually spoken with so many influencers too, like pastors and imams that actually go for naming ceremonies to actually tell these women and the men that are trying to name their child that this girl has been born, to not cut her because it's not biblical and it's not according to the Quran, because we have two major religions here. So in the Quran, it's not in the Quran, it's not in the Bible. So where do you get that tradition from? Even the Quran and the Bible talks about the male circumcision more than the female circumcision. There's nothing like female circumcision there. And also, I think the doctors to raising awareness too. Doctors are actually, during antenatal now, they tell women when you give birth to a girl, you don't cut the girl. It's only the boy that is supposed to be cut. So I think this raising of awareness, like everywhere, everyone is talking about it, will actually still instill it. So by 2030, we should be sure that Nigeria would actually be out of that list. Okay,
for ladies who have been caught out there, what do you advise?
The ladies that have been caught out there, I think what they could do is meet a gynecologist.
Okay.
So the gynecologist could actually tell them, put them through, because some of them might be having marital issues through the cutting, and some of them might be having pains and having issues. So when they meet a gynecologist, that's the only person that could tell them, this is what you can do to actually make yourself better, or what you can do to save whatever is wrong with you, because that's the only major thing. And I'll tell them not to be strong, because they're actually strong for actually holding back those pains and also being able to stand their ground and being able to.
Okay, many thanks, Asosa Tinuke. Well, Lekwe, she's from Onelife Initiative, and we commemorated the International Day of Zero Tolerance for Female Genital Mutilation. It's punishable under the law as part of our CSR, and also to promote the Sustainable Development Goals for the year 2019. All through this year, we'll be doing more of some of these Sustainable Development Goals on Rise and Shine as well, so that we can have a better society. We have a target, and we must also move ourselves to ensure that we hit the target and that we aim at our goal. Many thanks for coming to the studios. So I sincerely appreciate it. We hope we'll preach this gospel together, and then we get a positive result. 2030 is actually a goal. So okay, many thanks for coming once again. I take a short break now. When